Is drinking raw milk safe like RFK Jr. suggests? Can you reduce a glucose spike if you eat your food in, quote unquote, the right order? I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp. I host a nutrition myth-busting podcast called Bite Back with Abby Sharp. And those are just some of the questions I tackle with qualified experts on my show. There is so much food misinformation and disinformation out there, and it can feel impossible to know what's real and what's BS. On Bite Back, my goal is to help listeners create a pleasurable relationship with food, their body, and themselves, which in my opinion is the fundamental secret to good health. Listen to Bite Back wherever you get your podcasts.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
We are so sorry for the you know what? Forget apologizing. Own it. Act like we did it on purpose. It's something new we're trying on the show here, Philly and Joe, 92.1 City. Really long news intros and beds.
Yeah.
So it builds the suspense for the upcoming news. We did it on purpose.
Better late than never news is what we're calling it.
Yes, we ran outside to meet some great folks. And I've already dived into the food they brought, which would surprise no one. Baker Boys and Girl. We talked about this yesterday. For Manitobans, by Manitobans. A fundraiser for the Manitoba wildfires.
I'll tell you, you want some good karma and some great eats? $5 of every $10 loaf sold will be donated to the Canadian Red Cross, and that goes right through till June 27th. So it's on now. You just email bakerboysandgirl88@gmail.com, and you can text us. I'll give it to you if you need. bakerboysandgirl88@gmail.com, and they'll set up a pickup for you at the Counter Space Community Kitchen on St. Anne's Road on Fridays and Saturdays. So they're on their way there now. These guys are up early. They're bakers.
Oh, man.
And so it's all fresh. And Phil, I haven't. Which one did you bite into?
The jalapeno cheddar sourdough. Fresh. Like it tastes like it's just out of the oven and it melts in your mouth. Like the only thing missing, like with something like that, I'm thinking you dip that in a chili or a stew or I don't know. I was eating it just by itself, and it's delicious.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, if you want to help out, obviously something that is huge right now here in Manitoba, and grab yourself some loaves for the weekend. Maybe you're heading out to your own cottage if you can, or camper.
Mm-hmm.
This would be fantastic.
And great cause. Thank you so much for bright and early this morning, coming by, meeting some great people, and doing cool things.
Sorry. Just as easy if you want, you can check them out at Baker Boys 88 on Instagram, Baker Boys and Girl on Facebook as well, okay?
Tremendous. Okay, we're off and running. It's a Friday. There's lots going on this morning.
Huge.
I can tell you the Bone Phone is stacked with calls about this potential running race.
The Bone Phone 100 is what I'm calling it.
You know what?
It's a 100-meter sprint. It's the only way.
We might have to reduce the 100 meter. There's a few people a little tentative about the 100 meters.
I thought I just did. We were talking 400 yesterday. Is there anything? I've never heard of a race slower than 100 on the run on the track. Is there?
For the health and safety of everybody involved, we might have to reduce it to a 50-meter race. But
92. How about the Bone Phone 92 meter?
But it's just in the preliminary stages of discussions. We're clearly going to chat about that all morning, and we'll get to those Bone Phone calls in just a few minutes.
Philly Joe Podcast.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Man, I just listened to Rager's little spiel about trying to get out of the North End. I mean, I know you're trying to get out of the North End to get to work, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get out of the North End just to get home. And I think it feels like double the frustration because I just want to get home. You know, like Happy Gilmore said, just go to your home. Go to your home.
Starting off the Bone Phone with a Happy Gilmore reference tells me it's going to be a good day today.
Yeah, because the trailer has been out, right, for a couple of weeks for Happy Gilmore 2 that's coming to Netflix.
Very good, yeah. Okay, moving on here. A complaint about construction. Yes, there's a few of these.
I drive by every morning on this Louise Bridge that's been shut down, and there hasn't been one person on that bridge or under that bridge working in multiple weeks, and yet it is still closed. Come on, city, do better.
And that was addressed the other day in a story I was reading. I can't remember. The story was about construction and the amount of projects we're having in the city this summer. And somebody from the city was addressing that's one of the top complaints they get is construction projects that have nobody at them, for days on end. And there was an explanation that there's always a reason why nobody's there, whether they're waiting for material or waiting on, you know what I mean?
That's what we've heard. And some say they can't put in the paperwork until the site is set up. Remember, we had that call.
You should hire
from somebody.
me. Do you know how good I am at paperwork?
I know.
I live for paperwork.
It's unbelievable. Phil's still working on his holiday paperwork from 2 years ago, getting that in.
And you remind me all the time. Aubrey, get your vacation in. The boss was bugging us the other day. All right. I love calls like this from the Bomber game last night about some good-hearted fans.
Hey, guys. This is a shout-out to the BC fan that sat in section 119 tonight at the Bomber Lions game. The guy gave it as good as he got. He was great with the kids. No screaming, no yelling. Man was a true sportsman. Can't say enough about him. He was in section 119, row 22, seat I don't know. But I can't say enough good about him. Have a great day, guys.
See, and you love that because with the amount of fights you see on YouTube from sporting events, you hate that. That sort of going back at each other in a good-natured way. That's what it's all about.
That's 2 sections over from where I am, and so that's cool. Didn't see any incidents by any means. It was kind of an interesting game too because of course there was the moment of silence there, the minute of silence for Chase Stiegel passing away too last night. He had the Trues at the half, and just a sold out atmosphere and
big win.
Yeah, and I mean it was loud, and you could see it affect the BC offense.
Yeah, best home atmosphere in the CFL. Okay, this is a reply to a call from Hooligan the other day about Murray Road. And the audio is not fantastic on this call, but it gets better as it goes, and I want to play it. First-time caller.
Hey, Phil and Joe. My name's Don. I'm a first-time caller to the Bone Phone. I just usually like to keep to myself. But I was listening to Bone Phone Hooligan this morning talking about Murray and how there's a hump, and sure, it's been rebuilt 3 times, but whatever. But there's a hump 30 yards before a red light. So I wonder how fast is he going that he gets launched before he has to either make a left or a right. Not very many people go straight through. And, I think that's a little bit exaggerated. And thanks for listening to me.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to speak for the Hooligan, but he gets worked up. And like a lot of us, when you get worked up, sometimes there's a little exaggeration in the story.
Some drama.
Yeah. Now to our calls about the potential Bone Phone regular running race. Started yesterday with a call from John with a J. We were talking about track and field day. We all remember that back when we were going to school, track and field day.
Somehow I was talking about the orange drink from McDonald's, and now this has led into a race.
That's right. And John with a J, one of our Bone Phone regulars, said that he used to participate in the 400-meter race.
Finished third, and they took the
ribbon away.
The bronze away from him. He did not own the podium that day.
So just out of the blue, I said, how fast were you, John with a J, and would you be willing to race me? Yeah. I think, and then that has just spiraled into a potential Bone Phone regular running race.
Yeah, well, and we haven't decided now because I thought it was going to be the Bone Phone 100, and you said it might have to be shorter. But can I just throw this out there before the call? Because this is a brilliant idea right up my alley. Maybe we call it the 92-1 City Marathon, and we have break stations every 25 or 30 meters and have a drink stop
of the 100 meters.
The 100 meters. I love it. So thanks to James on the Boston Pizza text line. That's right up my alley, working one of the watering holes.
Okay, well, let's get to a few of these calls. Start with John with a J, okay?
Yeah.
And whether or not he's going to partake in this race with me.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bone. If you could get this message ASAP to the one and only Mayor of Transcona, Mr. Phil. I'll race. Heck yeah. I mean, I'm in tip-top shape. But But no, I will challenge you and Joe into a 100-meter race. But it cannot be a sprint. It has to be a fast walk. It has to be a fast walk.
No.
But yeah, if you guys are up for it, we'll do it for a dozen Arberg fritters.
Like that.
And we'll do the 100-meter fast walk.
Who?
You can walk. Running, no, I don't do running, period. End of story. I don't do running very well.
Okay. I was thinking running race. Would we get more people involved if it was walking, fast walking? Sure. But I'm more about the running race.
I don't have medical clearance right now, so depending on when this happens.
You're handing out orange drink from McDonald's.
Yeah, that's right up my alley, too. I'd like, and you know what? Not a bad idea. Maybe having some fritters on site for a little bit of a sugar high for people once they finished this long marathon. You know, that's what happens, right? You finish the Manitoba Marathon. They give you like orange slices. You get some bananas, that kind of stuff. Well, hey, our marathon might be a lot shorter, but it doesn't mean that the template should change.
You get a fritter and some orange drink. Okay, now, Loud Guy, he about the race here.
Hey, it's the Loud Guy. Heard you talking about a foot race. The old stiff legs against rubber legs here. Yeah, that'd be very interesting to see how that would work out. I think I'm in.
Okay, Loud Guy's in. All right, fair enough. And now we'll wrap with Vinny, who seems a little confused about the basics of this race, but he's definitely interested. And I would say right off the bat, Vinny's got to be in.
Hey, anyways, how you doing? No, you guys are talking. What are you guys talking about? A bike race against Philly?
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't really been up in the mornings. I just do other stuff. But no, I heard about a bike race. Yeah, you count me in if that's what's going on. But then again, maybe not. Well, I got 3 bikes stolen. I bought a really nice bike, and I got that stolen.
That sucks, Vinny.
And I got the second one stolen, and I got the third one. Yeah, I got to get one of those solid locks. I get those chain locks, and these people cut the chain. I'm an idiot. I guess I should know better by now. Huh. So I don't have a bike. I don't know if the radio station supplies bikes.
No.
Hopefully that's what you guys were talking about, a race against Philly. Bike race.
Not a bike.
Not a bike, I'm in.
So, no, we're not supplying bikes. It's not a bike race.
We decided to cut the bikes out and keep some of the staff. But listen, the Manitoba Marathon goes on Sunday. That's the real marathon. We're creating our own little sidebar here. So,
and Guilty here, he's on the text line going, has to be a running race. Because he has let us know he wants in.
He sent us a picture of him working out of the gates. He's practicing his, shot out. Or whatever you call it. I don't know.
Yeah, he's practicing his start. We'll get that up at the Facebook page, Guilty in training already. And no ringers allowed. Like, you can't be someone who still competes or is just recently, like, you can't be 21. And you'll kill me.
If you are coming into this race with defined quads and calves and professional running shoes, you might be suspended.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. Philly and Joe, 6:40 on a Friday morning. We're going to get back into all the text messages we're getting about the potential 100-meter running race of Bone Phone regulars. We'll get back into that conversation because we're getting a ton of response after 7 o'clock. Right now, though, we got to talk Winnipeg Blue Bombers Stanley Cup final. 2 massive games last night. It was if you were at the game, I'm sure you were keeping a close eye on how things were going in the Stanley Cup final. What a win by the Oilers. Like, I'll tell you, a good night because I'm hoping for the Oilers. I think a lot of us are, and an impressive win for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Somebody asked me last night who I was rooting for in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I said whoever I'm betting on that day. I just don't have a horse in the race that way, but it's been so exciting last night, too. I ended up watching the game when I got home from the Bomber game. Mm-hmm. I had recorded the hockey game and zipped through it because without the intermissions in that, I wasn't hoping for overtime last night, but it really was a fun game, especially because Florida got off to that hot start.
3-0. I'm like, oh, no, is this how this series is going to go with the Panthers taking over?
And, man, they showed some resilience, came out in the second period and turned it around. And then it was like, oh, boy. And then when they took the 4-3 lead, and then Florida comes back to score with a few seconds left. Hey, how about Calvin Pickard, the Winnipegger? 7-0 in the playoffs.
And it's typically in relief.
Yes.
It's typically when things are when the team needs a spark. Like he's coming in tough situations.
I'll tell you who's in a tough situation is Skinner, not Stuart Skinner. He's so well-spoken with a win or a loss if you've ever heard him being interviewed. But it came out on social media. His wife posted that they've been getting death threats during the playoffs.
From
his performance on a couple of occasions. These aren't fans. These are just whacked people.
Yeah.
Obviously calling. But that came out yesterday in the news too. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes here.
For the Oilers to fall down 3-0 and then come back and then give up the lead and have to go to overtime and still find a way to win, it can't be underestimated how big of a win that is for them. Going back home, see if they can go get a win in Edmonton. And I called them in 6. You did too, so we're still in play.
Yeah, this game. Now going back to Edmonton, that kind of changes the momentum. And it's interesting because he's so good in the interviews, Paul Maurice, Pomo. There was a look on his face when Edmonton was back in the game. I think it was 3-2 at the time. He wasn't saying anything to his players. Like there was no revving them up or anything. He was just calm Paul Maurice. So it'll be interesting. They got a lot of veterans on that team too, but you could see their captain Barkov in that. Like he seemed a little down. He's having a tough playoffs. And Pomo a few games ago says, yeah, we should get rid of him. Joking around.
And then the Bombers, I wasn't sure what to expect last night. I think, with Collaros out and you're playing a really good team like BC with your backup quarterback, but Strevler, is that the best game Strevler's ever played as a starting quarterback for a complete game?
I would have to say so. He played the right game, and there's a new offensive coordinator, not new to the Bombers, right? So that was a clean sheet going in. I thought our defense, Younger called a great game on defense too, and they executed. Even when you get the veterans like Willie Jefferson standing out in week 1,
all over Rourke, like banged him up.
Yeah, and he's out with an oblique. He's day to day. Oblique. I'm still trying to figure out what muscle that is in the side.
It's something that's sore on you probably on a daily basis. So now we a collective finger crossing for Bomber fans as far as Brady Oliveira. Let's just come on. Like that can't with. Hopefully that's not a serious injury and he's back next week, or at least it's like a couple of weeks injury.
Well, and then the pleasant surprise was the coming out party of Matthew Peterson, the running back, right? Ran for over 130 yards in his debut, which if he's one of these guys that we have for relief during a game and Oliveira gets back healthy, boy, our running game looks really good this year then, doesn't it?
Sure does, yeah.
Well, it did just with Oliveira, but having a backup. Augustine was good too, but this Canadian kid, Peterson.
And we have BC again, right? The CFL schedule. You start with a bye, then you go to a doubleheader.
Back to back. They love to really build up those rivalries in this league.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
780 City, 780-2484. If you'd like to play the hottest game in radio, we ask you a few questions. It's easy. If you're the contestant, it is so easy. We ask you a few questions. You're anonymous, unless, of course, we guess your name. And even then, we only get your first name. And then, we ask you a few questions and then guess your name. So it's a ton of fun. Some people have even called it a hoot. Good morning, City. Do you want to play the name game?
Sure do.
Okay. I feel like it's been a while since we had a female contestant.
Could be right.
How old are you? We always start with that on the name game.
I am 31.
Oh, 31. Youngin'. Okay. How does it feel to be 31?
Fantastic.
Yeah, no doubt. I wish I was 31 again.
Was your 30 a big birthday? Did you throw yourself a big party or somebody throw one for you?
My husband did throw me a surprise party.
Oh, what a guy. Okay. Hey, that's my first question. What's your husband's name?
Brendan.
Okay. Classic. Good name. See a lot of Brendans. More and more Brendans these days.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, questions for you. Your favorite donut in the box, like someone brings the donuts to the office or the workplace, what are you reaching for?
Old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned plain?
Old-fashioned, nice.
Oh, wow.
I like them too.
My dad used to dip those in the coffee.
Yeah, they're great for that, yeah.
Is your PVR cluttered with stuff that you have no plans of watching or stuff that you've been meaning to watch? Like, is there just all kinds of crap on there?
We don't have satellite. We stream everything.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Streamers.
Yeah. Final question. Now you're 31, so this should be a no-brainer. Do you think you could beat me in a running race?
I hate to say it, but absolutely.
Oh.
Hold on. Absolutely. Hate to say it, but you did.
Plug that in, Joe.
Absolutely.
And
Not
that's-
even I think so.
No.
We went right for, of course I could.
Well, she's 31.
No, 100%.
My husband and I are actually challenging ourselves, and we're participating in the cancer care walk tomorrow, and we're walking 20 kilometers.
How about that? Yes.
The Cancer Care Walk goes tomorrow. That's a big one, too. That's a big walk. And then the
It's
marathon.
from Centerpoint Park to the ledge and back.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, just for the record,
That's a long drive, by the way. Never mind walk.
you're not allowed, just so you know, you're not allowed in the 92-1 city running race. Like, you can come watch, but you're not allowed.
Perfect.
You're in too
don't
good
tell
a shape.
and don't tell Brendan to try and change his name and get in either. We're gonna know by how defined his calves are. Okay,
your turn, Joe.
Let's start with this. Most ladies I know that love movies. Do you love movies?
Yes, I do.
Have seen their favorite movie copious amounts of times. What would be that movie in your world?
My classic would be Dirty Dancing.
Oh,
Dirty Dancing.
Come on.
Still listen to the soundtrack, huh?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, Dirty Dancing. And you'd watch it over and over again. Do you have kids?
100%.
Do you have kids?
No, we do not.
Okay. I was going to ask you a Father's Day question about Brendan, but I'm taking that off the table.
I mean, we have animals.
Oh, that
Okay.
one, yeah.
It won't help with this question. But for your father, what is the best gift you ever got your father? In his eyes, you know, the look on his face when you got him a Father's Day gift. You or Brendan, could be your father-in-law.
I'm going to go kind of the opposite. The worst gift we got him was golf clubs because he basically wanted to break them after the first round.
Oh, he wasn't a fan. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Was not a fan.
And that's an expensive purchase nowadays, too.
Yeah. Okay.
And favorite concert you've ever seen?
Oh, probably AC/DC at the Investors Group.
Oh, that was great.
That was a great show,
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 31-year-old wife of Brendan. I'm going to say you are a Sarah.
No.
Tara.
Nope.
Bobera. No, sorry.
One more, Jamie.
Nope.
Okay, any of that close?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
I know what it is, too, right? Because when you hear Brendan, you're thinking a certain line. But you know what? I'm going to just throw out Hannah. I don't know why.
No, that was
that was a real
from left field.
niche
You don't
pick.
get a lot of Hannahs, but you never know.
Okay.
Would it be considered common?
I would say it's a little bit more old-fashioned, I guess.
Okay.
It's not as common.
Would you go
It's
with?
not common now.
Oh, it's not that common now. Okay. How about Catherine?
Nope.
And my other guess was going to be Michelle.
Nope.
Oh boy.
How about since Margot Robbie's rise to fame, there's been some Margos.
Nope.
Maris?
I do know.
Okay, sorry, what was that?
I said I do know Joe.
You know
know
Joe
me?
personally?
I say so.
Oh my God, that makes it even worse now.
Give him time. It'll come to him. If we went into information.
You would know my sister better.
I would know your sister better. This conversation needs to end right now.
Haley.
Nope.
Okay, we lose. What is it?
Andrea.
Andrea. Oh,
And my sister's Olivia.
Olivia.
Andrea and Olivia.
Of course.
Yeah.
How I even know Brendan, your husband.
I know.
Actually, Phil knows Olivia
Yes,
too.
I do. I know both of you as well. Well, I know Olivia better. But
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I know Stacey quite well. I
Yeah.
used to know Stacey.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
God, we couldn't even guess somebody's name we know.
That's a tough day.
We got to take a vacation from
It's a
this
tough
game
day.
for one day.
Hey, players only meeting after that
Yeah.
one.
Andrea, nice to chat with you. You stumped us.
Likewise. Well, I was hoping that you'd get it, but
I'm still offended that you could beat me in a race. All right, Andrea.
No, she could.
For more Philly and Joe, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
Yeah, it should be a 100-meter race or a 50-meter race. 100's fine with me. But I think at the end, by the finish line, if you set up like a buffet table, that might get some incentive to go a little faster. I'd be in. I'd be real fast.
Okay.
And I know Phil, he'd be running like crazy. Yeah, especially if they had some shepherd's pie on that buffet table.
Okay. Yes.
I'll never get that cleared with the health inspectors.
Well,
listen, I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but you just leave the food and the orange drink to me. Okay? That's all I'm asking.
So you're going to supply the food?
Well, I can't run, but I can eat, and I can set it up. Just leave that with me.
100-meter, 92.1 City, bone phone regular, 100-meter dash. Can you beat me? I think, honestly, I'm going to do okay. I'm ready to take on anybody who... No, it has to be... It can't be somebody who's really fit, who runs like professionally, or you can't be too young either.
No, it's the 92.1 City unfit.
Unfit.
100.
Yes.
We don't know if it's going to be 100, but it just sounds good.
Yeah, 100.
Sounds long.
No matter how long we make it, we'll keep advertising that it's a 100-meter race.
So I've given myself a role here, okay?
So your orange drink and food? Because
I'll get some snacks and stuff for sure.
Because I was going to say we need food, like a couple of tables full of food.
Hey, you just concentrate on practicing and getting ready for the race. Don't worry about the food. Okay, I already told you we had our assisted living place set up, and all of a sudden we were having like red meat 7 days a week. Just hold on. I don't know if at like 10 a.m. in the morning you need meatballs with gravy after a race.
Shepherd's pie?
Maybe. No, I don't think we're gonna have
Steaks?
shepherd's pie. Maybe. I don't know. Just leave it to me, and I'll make sure the food is good for. I guess what we got 8 slots and we don't even have lanes painted.
No, there won't be lanes. Maybe we get some cones.
Orange cones around here at the workplace. I'll tell you, there's a million of them. You think there's a hockey camp breaking out here?
Because there's construction going on.
Yeah,
so the
is.
cones will be easy. Front parking lot.
We got to wait till the geese leave, though, because I'm telling you.
That one goose is going to be like fired up about all the people here.
Papa
but
goose.
He's in the back. We'll go in the front.
Yeah, we're going in the front.
We won't bother the two geese there, Ozzy and Sharon. But okay, we got food. You're going to supply the orange drink because you can't run.
I'll make some calls.
Got the hernia operation that you had earlier this summer. Should we have how big of a party do we want this to be? Do we need hot tubs, like a band?
No.
Fair rides?
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do it at the IKEA parking lot. No, what? The Red River X starts tonight. Why don't we just do it there at their exhibition grounds?
No. Okay. We'll keep it simpler.
You can hold a corn dog while you're running.
That's not bad.
You can't have bands, and the race is only going to take a minute. Well, maybe a couple of minutes.
I got to get the clean bill of health because someone was asking about my plantar fasciitis and my sciatica yesterday. Both are okay for 100 meters. I think I can pull it off.
Yeah, what's considered a ringer? Somebody whose knees bend?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't run. That is a good question. What would a ringer be considered? Someone who works out 4 days a week and actually runs? That would be a ringer.
Oh, yeah. If you run at all, you're a ringer in this case. And we have talked about making it 92.1 meters and just, calling it the 100 meter just to shave it down a little bit, okay?
There will have to be waivers because we don't want, I'm a little nervous about someone passing out or something, Yeah,
there'll be, I'm sure, Iron Mike is on vacation this week, and I can tell you right now, he's probably going nuts, we got to get waivers for this thing.
That's right, because he loves this kind of thing. And then is there a prize if you beat me?
Well, I guess we got to work on something. You know what? You got to have a prize, I think, and you got to have something for participating. I know everybody goes the route of participating now, but you got to compete in life, right? To get a job, could we at least have a prize for that too? But I'll tell you what, now you got to get cameras in there for a photo finish.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna get a controversy.
It doesn't sound like we're gonna need slow motion replay.
This is the Philly and Joe podcast.
Be a good person.
Rate or review this show wherever you subscribe and get P&J into more ears.
Don't talk just to hear the sound of your own voice. That was my dad advice, sage advice back in the day. Happy Father's Day. Come Sunday to all the dads out there.
Yeah, you betcha. It's also Friday the 13th today.
I would have worn a goalie mask to work if I had a thought of it early
Would have
enough.
been a nice tribute because it's Jason Voorhees' birthday today.
And it just looks good around, like nobody questions the guy. No one messes with the guy who wears a goalie mask to work.
Not right now.
No.
Especially with the NHL playoffs continuing, right? You probably get a good conversation starter going there. Like
what's with the goalie mask, Aubrey? It's kind of hot out today. You're going to get warm in that thing.
No kidding.
Excuse me. I got to use the printer. I got a goalie mask on.
That's the one guy. Could you imagine you're working with Jason Voorhees and you start riding him about wearing the goalie mask to work?
He would be a difficult person to work with.
Absolutely.
You got to know he would.
You don't even go up to him, wish him a happy birthday.
No.
Ask him how old he is.
Well, in
Bad
today's
question.
Right. And in 2025, with communication being so important, that's not a guy who talks. So you're not gonna. It's just like trying to get him to book his holidays.
Well, I'm thinking a genie's cake would probably get a smile. You'd never see it under the mask, but
I think anybody, goalie mask or not, is going to smile about Genie's cake. By the way,
look at the smile it puts on our face when people bring donuts and muffins and stuff.
Immediately. I don't think whether you're whoever you are.
Even if you're a killer.
Right. Even if you're a sociopathic.
Who couldn't take a break at work.
Dude like Jason Voorhees, you're still happy about getting a cake dropped off. By the way, we missed, speaking of goalie masks, the guy who invented the goalie mask, Jacques Plante. We were talking about all the goalies who have done the double-double. Jose Theodore, Carey Price, Dominic Hasek, Jacques Plante, and Connor Hellebuck.
Now, Jacques Plante, we know why he created the goalie mask. He was taking pucks to the face.
Yes, he was.
But if you can explain to me why Jason Voorhees started wearing a goalie mask, no one's going to ask him.
No, never. Like, you mean like obviously he wanted to hide his identity, but as far as why did he pick a goalie mask, whereas a guy like Michael Myers had that Halloween mask?
Yeah. Look what's happened in baseball. They used to have the open cage, and now it's closed off almost like a goalie mask for catchers.
I would have to think, like, because didn't we find out once on this show that the Michael Myers mask is actually William Shatner mask? We did. Somebody told us that on the Boston Pizza text line.
But where did Voorhees?
Why did he go with the goalie mask?
Yeah, where did it come from?
Someone will tell us.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
There's Friday the 13th freaks out there.
Wow.
So that to me would be less constrictive and hot than Michael Myers' mask.
One cable channel is going to be running movies all day.
Oh, the Friday the 13th series will be on all over the guide today, for sure. You'll be able to. Today I am wearing my Camp Crystal Lake shirt. That's where Jason Voorhees
Crystal Lake
terrorized.
You think anybody in the world now wants a place called Crystal Lake on their map?
Jason didn't. Okay, here we go. Jason didn't wear a mask to hide his identity. He wore it because his face was deformed. All right.
I didn't know that.
See, we knew people would know that.
Okay.
Burn, maybe. Yeah, okay. So that. But again, when you're in that line of work, hiding your identity, whether it's deformed or not, is probably a good idea.
He grabbed a machete from somewhere, right? He literally was in a hardware store and found the mask in a hardware store. He grabbed the machete from there and then found the hockey mask to replace the burlap sack. That had to be irritating, just the material that he was wearing with the one eye. That makes sense.
So what, you tell me one-stop shop? He got the machete and the mask all in the same place?
What is it, Canadian Tire? Like, they got everything there.
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
This is the Philly and Joe Podcast.
Got this one from Big George. Hey, Philly, if you need someone to help you time your 100 meters, I'd meet you at Optimus Park where the Transcona Nationals play, and I could give you a hand.
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But is there going to be home track advantage here? Is it having to be on neutral ground? I know you were talking about the parking lot here at the station. I don't know how many,
Iron Mike has weighed in saying he'd prefer a track, the boss.
He's a professional.
He's an idea guy, and he just thinks it would be a better suited to an actual track. And you know what? He might be right. Like, if this sounds like it's going to be pretty legit, and we have some pretty, people who are actually going to train. We're going to have food. We're going to have, music. Joe's going to be there with the McDonald's orange fluid.
Well, it's going to be some kind of orange drink.
The orange
I
drink.
don't know how many of those. I don't know. Do they even have the jug anymore
I
at
wonder
McDonald's?
if they'll provide the
We'll
jug.
get a call. We'll call their promo team people, and we'll have some food of some sort there too. Yeah.
And if we can't get the orange syrup fluid, then like you mentioned, orange Fanta. Could do like cans of orange Fanta.
There's something like that going on.
We're getting somebody offering to bring cinnamon buns.
Really?
Yeah, that was earlier. Remember?
I think that was just for you
Just
and I.
for not for the.
I don't think it was for the race, but go ahead. It's your race.
Are
Make
you
it your
sure?
way. Yeah.
Come on.
I can't wait for Iron Mike to get back here to help me with some of these details. We're not having a parade. I know you suggested a parade of all the athletes.
To march into the track.
Well, we haven't decided how many lanes yet. You don't even know how many athletes.
Well, we'll scope the track and see how many. We think eight-ish. Someone says I could just imagine the race kicking off and the speakers cranking out Bonnie Tyler holding out for a hero.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Well, music's a key if you're going to.
We'll have to see what kind of playlist is put together for that. I mentioned this earlier. I'll mention it again. There's no reason to have any slow motion replay at this race. I'll tell you that.
It's going to be the slowest, worst looking 100 meter. Like, we won't put the word dash in the title.
That's the key. All the marketing behind it will be still photos. You'll never know. It's going to look good.
Selkirk Steve says, are you guys actually going to do this, or is it just all talk? Because this sounds like a lot of fun. Selkirk Steve, it's on. Like, it's in the hands. When Iron Mike weighs in and starts asking questions about booking a venue, it's going to happen, and I will win.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's all about spitballing and waiting for Iron Mike to get back and put this baby together, because Phil and I don't really want to do a lot of the paperwork. I'm going to take care of food and beverage. Phil's got to train.
I'm starting
We know
training.
our lanes.
We do, yeah. I'll train. Yeah, okay. And then Mike will take care of the rest.
Yep.
And I'll stop throwing out ideas. You need him here to start deflecting more ideas for
I
me,
do.
because this is just getting...
What kind of boss goes on vacation?
The Philly and Joe Podcast.
Hit us up wherever you get this podcast and rate and review the show.
Good fortune will come to you.
Actually, we can't promise that, but we'll cross our fingers.